The Nordschleife, the 14-mile layout of the Nürburgring Nordschleife is underway. 5 championship contenders in close proximity. Obviously this is when we got past Prost, and Prost went spinning off there. And Heidfeld, he's gone right into one of the barriers there. Well, I'd say a barrier, it's a hedge. So it's Piquet, who I believe goes into the back of Degrassi, going into the carousel. Not quite as close as the likes of Villeneuve, Duval, etc. And that was something that happened just behind us. That was a massive crash, instigated by Buemi and Villeneuve, and this just caused chaos. Buemi goes flying up into the air, barrel rolling, and look at this. Duval just about gets his head past Buemi before the car lands on him. We get past Jean-Eric Vergne, and then we can try and get past Daniel Abt, going to this kind of mini little carousel, this little bowl, and we slid coming out of it. And I think that is Sarrazin without his front wing, which must mean we're without our rear wing. Let's go round this corner, which takes us onto the massive straight. Yep, no rear end grip. It's Belgium once again. Absolutely dominated this race. He hasn't really pulled out from everyone else, but he has completely made them look like a mug. No one has been able to touch him. And Bruno Senna is going to win the E-Prix at the Nordschleife. Fantastic stuff. He's already gone past the start-finish line. The tree kind of obscured our view. That is Nathaniel Burton in second place, just about able to hold on from second. Just about able to hold on to second from Robin Freins. Mercifully, it was just kind of a straight and 2 corners left after that, so we were able to end the race in 7th place. At the first race of the season, Bruno Senna has taken the maximum possible points this weekend. Pole position, fastest lap, as well as the race win. At the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, Sam Bird has won the race by doing 1 stop less than the rest of the field to take a comfortable victory. Villeneuve was catching him up, but not quickly enough, as Nico Prost wins the Belgian E-Prix. No, we're just not going to do it, as Stefan Sarrazin wins the Hungarian E-Prix, beating Sam Bird by just 0.145 of a second. Nathaniel Burton comes second at the Nürburgring to take his 3rd podium of the season, having managed the same feat at Canada and Monaco. Second at Zandvoort and now 3rd at Monza, Nelson Piquet is finding some late season form. A win at Monaco, a 2nd place at Belgium, and not to mention a 2nd place earlier in the season at Hockenheim, it's fair to say Jacques Villeneuve is in the form of his life. How on earth did Jean-Eric Vergne do 16 laps on 1 battery? I have no idea how, but he's going to win the Hockenheim E-Prix, having massively extended his 2nd stint. Two 3rd places in a row at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve and now Hockenheim means that Loic Duval is looking good for championship contention. He's cheated, but Daniel Abt has won the Italian E-Prix after Villeneuve's incident in the pit lane, as well as fending off the challenge from Nico Prost and Robin Freins. Right, okay, so hey guys, it's PSL here, and I'm here for the final episode in this Formula E series on Formula 1 tracks. And in a season that's been marred with controversy, with chaos, with tons of racing action, with, a million crashes. There's been a crash all the time this series, but in a series that's been marred with all sorts of interesting stuff, we're finally at the final race of the season at Interlagos. And as you can see at the end of practice, the quicker times in the 37.1s. Lucas de Grassi, the quickest there, but Sarrazin, Prost, Senna, Piquet, Villeneuve, Duval, these are all championship rivals who are all right up there in the top half of the field in practice anyway. And yeah, so really, my championship rivals, or a lot of them, they really have turned up to the game, at least in practice anyway. And moving on to qualifying, this is my quickest qualifying lap, and we're getting some nice slipstream off of the apt car there, which probably did help for this lap to be the quickest lap of all the ones I did in qualifying. And yeah, the reason I'm showing you my entire quickest qualifying lap is because some people in the comments have thought that maybe I'm deliberately going slow in qualifying, or for some reason deliberately want to be at the back, or I'm not trying my hardest in qualifying. Well, I just want to get the point across that, as you can see from this lap, this is a decent lap. It's one of the better laps I could do. It was the best lap I did in this qualifying session. But the AI are genuinely overpowered in qualifying, because as we saw in practice, I clicked finish session and they did 37.1s. Now in this qualifying, as you'll see later on, I'm going to accelerate time through to the end, because I kind of had to at this point, because else half the field would have been considerably quicker than the other half, who didn't do a lap at that point. But I tried my hardest in qualifying. This is the quickest lap I could do. We'll see what the lap time is soon. I can't find many faults in this lap, but basically, all I want to say is I am trying my hardest in qualifying. I think this lap proves it. I mean, it's not a perfect lap. I ran wide going into the last corner there, but you know, that's basically my point, is that AI are genuinely overpowered in qualifying. I think it's something to do with this mod, because obviously this is a work in progress mod. But anyway, coming down the start finish line, and we're coming up to, or we're not going to cut inside the pit lane, but coming past all of the grid slots, coming up to the start finish line, and we beat our lap time of a 37.6 to get to 37.3. A pretty decent lap, as we would have seen in practice. That would have been one of the quicker laps, posting the top half of the field. But, as you can see, accelerating time through, unlike in practice where I clicked finish session, we can see the quickest laps are, well, nearly 2 seconds a lap quicker. Jean-Eric Vergne, though, took pole position ahead of Prost, ahead of Senna, ahead of Sarrazin, and there's a lot of championship rivals right up there at the top end of the field. Duval, Burton on the cusp of the points positions. So it's a good thing Vergne got pole position, because my teammate, my ally, I know he's a championship contender, but hopefully he can help me out here. Luckily Villeneuve's at the back, Piquet is. We have got a couple of championship rivals at the back, but we've got a lot at the front as well, which is quite worrying. But anyway, Daniel Abt didn't take pole position. He needed to take pole position to still be in championship contention. He hasn't, but regardless, 9 people going into the final race can win this championship, as the lights are out and away we go. Smoke at the back of the field, no surprise there, caused by me once again smoking the rear Michelin tyres at the start of the race. And going into the Senna S's, we're getting past Villeneuve, we're getting past Piquet. We're going to try and make a move on Silvestro, and I think we have made the move on Silvestro. So we're up into 15th place, and Jacques Villeneuve apparently is a championship contender. You wouldn't have thought of it, he's just hanging around at the back of the field. I mean, he really has not turned up to this race, has he? But I'll tell you who has turned up. Nico Prost. He is now leading the Brazilian E-Prix. I don't know how he's done that, because we saw Jean-Eric Vergne took pole position, and I was quite happy when I saw Vergne was in pole position. I thought, well, A, that's great, because he's taken the 3 bonus points away from Prost and Senna, but also I thought he could hold up Prost and Senna for me. That'd be really nice, but he hasn't, because he's let Nico Prost through. And anyway, we've run out wide going out of that, going into that corner, I guess, or into, out of, whatever. You're kind of in the middle of the corner. Anyway, we get back past Oliver Turvey, and now we've got to try and get past D'Ambrosio and Lucas de Grassi, of course. Now we've got to get past de Grassi, and as you will have seen from the real-life London E-Prix, the Sunday race, being just in front of de Grassi is pretty much the most dangerous place to be in the Formula E field. So we are now ahead of him, and we now need to get a car in between me and de Grassi as soon as possible to be safe. We've got past Daniel Abt, accidentally got past Loic Duval there. I mean, that's a good thing we got past Duval, but the AI broke very, very early for that corner. I really wasn't expecting the AI to break that early. It's kind of a good thing I was on the outside of the corner, because I probably would have gone into the back of them. And now we got past Burton, the championship contender. We got Nick Heidfeld just up ahead, who's probably going to try and hold up the rest of the field for his teammate, because obviously his teammate, you know, main championship contender, if he held up me and Burton, that would help Senna, certainly. But we got past Nick Heidfeld, so things are all good. Apart from the fact, I'm in 7th place, and Nico Prost, if he wins the race, there's nothing I can do. Like, if Nico Prost wins, regardless of what I do this race, I can't win the championship. So 7th place really is not good at the moment. And anyway, a replay of the start of the race, and Jean-Eric Vergne started on pole position, which I was really happy about for various reasons, as I've already said, but coming out of the Senna S, he lost the lead. I mean, he held the lead for about 10-15 seconds, this Jean-Eric Vergne. So great stuff there from my teammate, really helping me out a lot there. But you know, he can still hold up Senna, who's obviously the only person ahead of me in the championship at the moment. But apart from the fact, this is still on the first lap, by the way. So halfway through the first lap, Senna all over the back of Jean-Eric Vergne, and in Sector 2, yeah, Bruno Senna goes right past Jean-Eric Vergne. So Vergne has let my two main championship contenders past within a lap, which is great for him there. Nick Heidfeld running out wide. I don't really quite know what he's doing there. I think Heidfeld was trying to back up the rest of the field to help out Senna. But as you will have seen, that really didn't work for him, because he let Buemi through. That's the Edams there. But he also let Sarrazin through. But let's have a look at this. So there's Heidfeld up ahead. He runs out wide. Let Buemi through. That doesn't really matter too much. But he lets Sarrazin through. And Sarrazin's a championship contender. And that means the top 4 are Prost, Senna, Vergne and Sarrazin in that order. And they're all championship contenders, which means I have to catch up to that top 4 as quickly as possible. Which means we've got to get out of 7th place. And there's Robin Freins up ahead, Buemi up ahead. Both of these are not championship contenders. Freins lets us go quite easily. Sebastian Buemi, really quite surprisingly, doesn't put up too much of a resistance, which I'm surprised about, because he could help out his teammate. But as we've seen from Jean-Eric Vergne, there isn't much teammate love. I don't know whether Vergne just deliberately doesn't want to help us out, or whether he is just rubbish. But who knows really. But anyway, as you can see, Nico Prost pulling out away from Senna. And this is Vergne in 3rd place, and Sarrazin's going to try and make a move on Senna for Vergne rather, for 3rd place. And Sarrazin, he's got past Vergne, he's up into 3rd place, right up behind Senna. And as you can see, looking behind, we got Buemi's trying to make the move back on me. So Buemi, I thought he wasn't putting up much of a resistance. He is now, because obviously if he can get past me, that will help out Nico Prost a lot. So yeah, Buemi's going to try and make the move on us. That didn't last too long, and now our teammate is holding us up. Fantastic. Jean-Eric Vergne, hopefully he'll let us go past without too much trouble, because Vergne, he could have helped us out this race, and he really didn't. So cheers Vergne for that. And yeah, he has helped us out in a sense that he isn't going to hold us up. I think Jean-Eric Vergne has realised he's not going to win the championship now, so he may as well try and let me through to see if I can win the championship for DS Virgin Racing, or try to see if I can win a Drivers' Championship as a DS Virgin Racing driver. Anyway, the end of lap 5, or the end of lap 6 rather, because of course the lap counter's 1 lap behind. We're coming into the pits a lap earlier than everyone else, and that's because, well, the fuel can do 9 laps, or the electricity can do 9 laps. So we're pitting on lap 6, which means we're going to have to make, in the second stint, we are really going to have to try and make the electricity last 9 laps. So a lap later, I'm expecting Prost and all them lot to come in, because my strategy is quite a risky one. But Prost hasn't come in. Senna, Sarrazin has. I believe Jean-Eric Vergne has as well. Okay. Buemi has. Yep, there's Jean-Eric Vergne. He has as well. Now this is weird. I don't know what kind of strategy Nico Prost is doing. But Senna's come in. So we've got a 1 lap undercut on the rest of the field. And Jean-Eric Vergne didn't go into the back of Senna there. That would have been nice if he did that. But, you know, he's being a true fair sportsman. But, we've got 1 lap undercut on the rest of the field. Now, we need to get past Sarrazin and Senna, because they'll be coming out of the pits right now. If we don't get past Senna, that's it. Championship charge is done. There's Bruno Senna leaving the pits. We need to get past him quickly. Obviously, he's got cold tyres. We're going to get past him. Thank God we have got past Senna. It means now that, thanks to that 1 lap undercut, as we've seen with this mod with the long pit stop times, the undercut is extremely powerful. Nico Prost came into the pits a lap later. I don't know why, because as you can see, we got past him there, and Nico Prost, he's just shot himself in the foot. As we saw, we only just got past Senna when Senna left the pit, and Nico Prost was about 4 seconds ahead. If Prost came in on the same lap as Senna, I think Prost would have won the championship. He would have run away with it. I don't think I would have been able to to catch him up. But now Nico Prost has left the pits in 4th. As you can see, I'm about 3 seconds ahead of Bruno Senna at this point, so I did pull out from Senna. So things are looking good. I'm in 1st place. I'm in a championship winning position. But we got Senna right up behind. And also, you know, that, well, most of the AI came in a lap later than me. Now, that's because my strategy is a risky one. The fuel can apparently do 9 laps. That's not strictly true. As you can see, I came across the line there with 56% of electricity left. Now, well, because you use 12% of electricity a lap, you can do the maths. That would leave me 4% short. And bearing in mind, if you go on the assumption that fuel, if you do 12% of fuel every lap, that's 108%. So I'm 8% short, which means you can do the maths. I need to do energy saving. I need to save 8% of energy over the course of this stint, or else I'm going to run out of fuel with about 3/4 of a lap, 2/3 of a lap left to go. And anyway, as you would have seen in the previous shot, Bruno Senna caught up to me, but Buemi didn't. Buemi's now caught up now. He's going to try and help out his teammate since he's ahead of his teammate. And going around the last corner, Bruno Senna got past, but Buemi also went into the back of me. There's no damage. I believe Buemi's still got his front wing. Crucially, I've still got my rear wing, but... well, let's have a look at this, because this has changed the championship completely now. Senna is now in championship winning position. So what am I doing? I'm on the outside. I'm trying to get the best line around the corner, but that was stupid. I left the door open for Senna. Buemi just got past me. I mean, no surprise, because... I mean, Buemi, he can't win the championship. He could certainly try and win the championship for his teammate. But, you know, let's forget about Nico Prost. Let's forget about Buemi. Forget about those two. All that matters now is with 2 laps left to go, I don't have to do any more energy saving. I've energy saved enough. Thank God for that. I can go pedal to the metal now, which is very good, because forget about Buemi, forget about Prost. Whoever finishes ahead out of me or Senna wins the championship. If I beat Senna, he can't do anything. But if Senna finishes ahead of me, that's it. He's already ahead of me in the championship. I mean, there's nothing I can do. And he is just ebbing away from me at this point. And we've got, well, about 1 1/3 laps left to go. And I need to get past Senna. I mean, this is for the championship. I don't care how I get past Senna. We just need to somehow get past Senna. And as you can see, going into this corner, we've actually caught up quite a lot going around this corner. So maybe this is my opportunity to make a move. We're going to dive it up the inside of this corner. Looked up a wheel, and actually we've cut off Bruno Senna there. But regardless, I'm now leading this race. I'm in a championship winning position. Senna's dropped down to 4th. I think Prost has got past his teammate, but unless Prost can mount a championship with a lap, well, if he can mount a challenge for the lead with a lap and a third to go, I think I've done it. On board from Senna. So how does he see this? It is a dive bomb move for me, but crucially, my car's still perfectly fine. Senna's car is still perfectly fine. It was a legal move, just about. It's got a lot of comparisons to the incident between Hamilton and Rosberg at the recent Austrian Grand Prix, but it was still a legal move, this was. Very dirty, but this is for the championship. I mean, what am I meant to do? Just sit behind Senna and let him win the championship? I've got to get past him, and I did. Very dirty, very aggressive, but I did. Anyway, Senna's still in 2nd. We've got a lap left to go. Can Senna get past me? If he gets past me, he's won the championship. Now, this is the corner where Senna got past 2 laps ago. I'm going to cover the inside line. I do not want Senna to get past again. I don't want Buemi to go into the back of me. But as you can see, Buemi's in 2nd. Nico Prost is only in 5th. I don't know what happened to Nico Prost. He did not mount a challenge for the lead. Nico Prost just had no pace. But regardless, forget about Prost, forget about Senna, forget about Verne, because I beat all of them as Sam Bird crosses the line to win the Brazilian E-Prix and to win the championship. Fantastic stuff from Sam Bird. Won the Brazilian E-Prix, won the championship. Fantastic stuff, honestly. Wow. As you can see, doing donuts there. I don't know how I beat Senna. Senna should have beaten me. I mean, wow. It was the very aggressive move that decided it, but fantastic stuff. I mean, I had to do energy saving, but fundamentally, it was the pit stop strategy that I did that worked well. I mean, also, Nico Prost, if he pitted on the same lap as Senna, he would have won the championship. If Senna defended more aggressively, he would have won the championship. But anyway, I've run out of fuel. It's just like Canada. And actually, that is a point, actually. I've only won 2 races this series. This one and Canada. And both of those races I did bold pit stop strategies, and both of those races I ran out of fuel or electricity just after I finished the race. Well, that's what it takes to win in this mod, apparently. I forgot to check who got the fastest lap, but I went through every driver's individual laps. Simona Di Silvestro, out of nowhere, got the fastest lap. Buemi in 2nd, Jean-Eric Vergne 3rd, Senna 4th, Prost 5th, Sarrazin 6th. I mean, I don't know how I beat all of those guys. It really was a dramatic final race. I was lucky to beat Senna. I was really lucky to beat Prost, in all honesty. And as I said, I had to get my car in some way, shape or form ahead of Bruno Senna, and I did it in quite a bad way, I guess, but, you know, I tried to turn to the corner. You could see I turned the steering wheel, but, you know, I locked up my front right wheel, so, you know, I kind of couldn't really turn. But anyway, regardless, I beat Bruno Senna just about there. And looking at the back end of the field, as you can see, Lucas Di Grassi finished in last, but only 14 seconds behind me. It was actually a really tight field, this race. The only reason it hasn't been most of the time is because there's been a ton of crashes. I did actually lower the AI aggression this race because I didn't want this championship to be decided by who didn't retire. I wanted it to be decided by who was genuinely quickest out on track, which meant there were no retirements. I was expecting 1 or 2 retirements, but hey, regardless, I think what this race has shown is you can get very tight, close, and to a certain extent unpredictable racing with this mod once there aren't a ton of crashes. Right, so on to the Drivers' Championship, and official confirmation, I've won the championship. Sam Bird, the only driver to get into triple figure points, 105 versus Senna in 2nd, who got 94 points. And it makes it seem like that we weren't close in the championship because there's an 11-point difference between us. But as I said in the race, it came down to whoever finished ahead would have won the championship. Nico Prost in 3rd, ahead of Jean-Eric Vergne. They're on the same amount of points, but Nico Prost has won 2 races this series, Jean-Eric Vergne only 1, so that's why Prost is in 3rd. But Jean-Eric Vergne, I'll be honest, I didn't think of him as that great of a driver. I didn't think he was that useful or helpful of a teammate. But in hindsight, looking back at the 10 previous races, he was a very good driver, a very good teammate. And while he didn't particularly help out in this finale, well, he helped out in the sense that he didn't hold me up, but he was a very good teammate. Not the most helpful one, not the most useful one, but 4th in the Drivers' Championship, I think that's where he deserves. He has been a very good, solid, consistent driver as well. The driver who I consider to be my main rival this series, Sarrazin, after our epic battle in Hungary, he finished in 5th, with actually the rest of the field quite a way off. Burton, PK, Villeneuve, etc. quite a way off, but they just did not turn up to this race. This race, which was crucial to them winning the championship, and they just didn't turn up. I mean, Villeneuve, as we saw at the start, was just languishing at the back, so I think the people who finished in the top 5 of this championship certainly deserve to finish there. Onto the Teams Championship, and DS Virgin Racing have won the Teams Championship, 192 points, 40 points ahead of Venturi. I'll be honest, I have no idea how we beat Venturi. Jacques Villeneuve and Stéphane Sarrazin, both extremely quick drivers on top form all season. I don't really quite know how we beat Venturi. I mean, I put in some decent performances this season, but I also put in some absolute shockers. Jean-Eric Vergne didn't really do anything spectacular apart from at Hockenheim. So, given that, I don't know how we beat Venturi. Edam's also very good this series. I will be honest, if Buemi was as good as Nico Prost in this mod, Edam's probably could have won the championship, but I will be honest, I don't know how I won the Team's Championship. As I said, I think Venturi and Edam's probably, well, Venturi certainly probably deserved to win it more, but apparently I was a massive 40 points ahead in the end. Well, Sam Bird and Jean-Eric Vergne. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this series. It was kind of a pain in the ass to record because it's rFactor and combining different mods, etc. Well, I guess rFactor is kind of a botch job in itself, but I mean, this series really was a botch job, and it was a pain in the ass to record all sorts of issues, even with the qualifying issue, which I still haven't really fully fixed. But no, I really hope you enjoyed the series. Something different, something interesting. Obviously, it was a very interesting series. So tight in the end of that last race. Full of chaos, full of drama, full of about 6,000 crashes. But anyway, it's been a very interesting series, very enjoyable. The montage should be coming out very soon. And yeah, that's that. I'll see you guys next time for, well, whatever video comes out next, but who knows when I'll see rFactor again on this channel. So I'll see you then.